But before I get into the boxing aspects and boxing in general, I was eating a mango. I just want to wish everybody here today a blessed day. And we pray that God will lead and direct our steps today. So this is what I just wanted to say to everybody. Okay, let's talk some boxing. Yeah, that's a piece of mango in my teeth. Let's talk some boxing. Alicia Baumgardner had a rematch with Christina Lenartardou of France in Detroit on DAZN Saturday night. I didn't get to talk about the weekend fights with you guys, so I'm talking it now. And her performance was virtuoso. She's got serious power in that left hook. And I believe it was either round 6 or round 7 or round 8, one of those later rounds. I thought Christina Lenartardou was about done. I was yelling at the screen, ref, you need to stop this fight. But she toughed it out because I'm telling you, man, Baumgardner was going to town on her against the ropes. I mean, she was ripping, especially the left hook. You know, she was looking for that left hook. She was throwing the right hand. She was landing some nasty left hooks on Lenartardou. And I know Lenartardou is feeling those left hooks up to today. I know she's feeling it. But she was in ridiculous shape. And man, she took some punishment. But what I liked about her was she was tremendously game. There was a certain point in the fight where she wasn't fighting back like that anymore. She didn't have any power in her punches. I think that Baumgardner had taken out just about everything that was inside of her, but she was still fighting back. Kind of remind me of Timothy Bradley versus Provatnikov, except she never got dropped. Lenartardou is a tough cookie. She tough. She took some punishment. Okay. And we've been seeing some tough fighters, man, in boxing. You know, I think of Roman Villa. I even think of Artem, Harutyunyun, who faced Frank Martin. These guys are tough, man. They ain't folding. Like mentally, they so dialed in that there's no quit in them. And so Christina survived. I mean, I thought she was gonna get knocked out, quite frankly. And she made it to the finish line, and a dominating performance for the most part by Alicia Baumgardner. But I must say, Christina did have her moments in the fight. There was a certain round, I think it was one of the early rounds, I think it was round 4, round 3, I can't remember. I wasn't scoring the fight. Where Lenartardou, she was backing up Christina Baumgardner. Actually, I had but Christina Baumgardner boxing off the back foot. And she was landing some really beautiful right hands and right hooks and stuff to Baumgardner's head. When Baumgardner was trying to throw her left hook, or I think it was left hook or one of them, she was getting clocked. And Lenartardou for a moment looked like she was going to close the distance. She was going to keep that. Baumgardner was not going to keep her at bay. But Baumgardner with that jab, that pesky jab that just maintained range. She would sometimes stick the jab out and just kind of hang it in the air for a minute. And she was picking her spots. She was staying off center, keeping her head slipping off the center line and stuff like that. So, for the most part, Baumgardner's strong as hell, man. You can just see that. She real strong. I think they've been working on strength and conditioning, and she was so composed. She was controlling the aggression of Lenartardou, who was trying to close in, double jab, come inside. And just the angles and just how she was picking her apart when she started exploding. Of course, Baumgardner, she wasn't fighting continuously with continuous activity like Lenartardou was trying to do. She was picking her spots, and then crashing her. She would crash her. Like, in the later rounds, she was crashing her quite a lot. You could see she was trying to get her out of there. But, Lenartardou is a tough cookie. I know she's going to be sore. She's probably sore all today and puffy. Her whole face and her whole body was probably swollen up. Definitely pissed blood. That's for sure at the end of that fight. And I got to say again, I'm not trying to underrate the men's performances. And men have some good fights. But these women, man, they're not playing out there. They're not playing like they going for broke in these fights. Like some of them punches, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Some of them punches, I swear, I thought somebody was gonna die with some of those punches. The punches, the leverage, the viciousness is incredible. I mean, I'm very impressed. It reminds me of throwback fights. It reminds me of the 80s, reminds me of the 90s, you know, watching boxing. Man, they throwing hands up in there. Now, I heard, you know, I went on the, you know, Ringside Reporter stream, and, you know, Joe Habib and his co-host, can't remember the guy's name. They was trashing, you know, this fight, which is really funny because Christina Linar-Tardu was someone who beat Alicia Baumgardner earlier in her career. She beat her. So to disrespect the fact that Baumgardner had gotten that much better than she was when she first fought Christina Linar-Tardu is to really do a disservice to boxing in general. You know, I don't know, these guys are chauvinists, or they feel, you know, they need to put down women's boxing because they feel women shouldn't box or something like that. Yet, you know, women are in MMA and all these other contact sports, but you ain't saying nothing. But it really looks distasteful, and it really puts a distasteful taste in my mouth hearing these men try to play gatekeeper when you haven't done shit in the sport of boxing. You ain't done shit in the sport of boxing. Women's boxing, first of all, if Alicia Baumgardner, who is a super featherweight, was to go up against any one of those two commentators, she kicked their ass so bad that they would never be the same. They would have brain damage. Okay? That's the first point. Okay? Second point, you know, the disrespect, you know, talking about I ain't never gonna watch Clarissa Shields fight and I'm never gonna watch this. Ninja, it's an emerging sport. What part of that you don't understand? Y'all ninjas, D-Style and my boy Joe Habib, I still got love for Joe Habib because Joe Habib is my dude still. I don't care what. Joe Habib is my dude. He might be, you know, chauvinistic and stupid in your perception of women. He's still my dude. But the asshole called D-Style and that other guy who he rolling with, I mean, Joe, to me and Joe actually see eye to eye on a lot of things. You know, and I like him. I know he's a Sugar Ray Leonard fan. That's what I can't understand. You like Sugar Ray Leonard, Joe Habib, but you trashing Alicia Baumgardner for beating a woman who beat her. She whooped her ass. Now the girl was coming, you know. Right. She was whooping that girl ass, but that girl wasn't backing down. She was looking for an opportunity. She was looking for her to slip up. And she did get her licks in on Alicia, but Alicia just tough. I told y'all. Alicia that woman ain't built like us. You might say you a man, you got a little testosterone. These people get into the gym. I don't want to curse. Shut your mouth, Anson. These people get into the gym, y'all. And they train so hard and they take punches and stuff so much. All right, let me see if I can explain this to you. So my sensei, when I used to do martial arts, he used to tell us to kick him in the shin, right? And we would kick him in the shin because he trained so much and he toughened up his shin so much. When we kick him in the shin, we hurt our feet. His shin was like freaking steel. Okay, I want you guys to understand what it is you watching, because a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing, man. Y'all don't know shit about boxing. When you look at those two women, Linar-Tardu, you know why Linar-Tardu didn't get knocked out? Because, man, for years, this woman been training, doing the same thing, taking punishment. How do women take punishment? How do anybody take punishment in boxing? They train you. They start training your muscle groups. And then they start punching on you. Okay? Those women, just look at the both of them. Their abs is like freaking steel. They got like steel abs. They hard bodies. You call them hard bodies. You see when Baumgardner flex her muscles, that's not just flexing muscles. It's not supple. You can't squeeze that shit. That shit's like steel. I don't think you guys understand what Christina Lenartadu went through. She went through hell and fire to keep on getting her objective done. That's a steel mind. That's the mind of somebody. Oh man. Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all don't understand boxing. These guys go in the ring. You don't play boxing. These women wasn't coming in there to say kumbaya. They was coming in there to kill each other. They had to kill. They were on kill mode. They were on kill mode. No doubt about it. I was watching the punches that were thrown. The intention was to hurt and kill their opponent. What do we mean by kill? Immobilize them. Knock them out. Make them senseless. Concuss them. Okay? I watched that Deshaun Cruz versus Marshall. Right? Y'all, them is big girls, first of all. You talking about 6'2"? They're big. And motherfuckers steel. If Savannah Marshall punches you, you gonna feel it. That's a big, strong woman. And she not just strong. She hard. Like, y'all don't understand what I'm saying. You know, we always think of women, you know, soft and feminine, and they got soft skin. Okay, they put on makeup and shit, and yeah, their skin looks soft and everything, and yeah, no, they look feminine. But bruh, them ninjas hard. Like Deshaun Cruz, she big. She not just hard, she big and strong. And all them women like to fight. They fighters. That's the difference. You see, y'all thinking of them as women, but really and truly, all fighters have the same kind of mentality. Kill, destroy, immobilize. All of them. Don't let them fool you. Oh, they mellow because they've been punching people and all of that. They seem mellow, but they get in the ring. That's the mentality. They're not playing around. They get the opportunity. It's to kill, destroy. That's the mentality. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't going there to play kumbaya. They ain't going there to say, I touched you, you touch me, I score more points than you. No. That's not what it is. They in there to kill, destroy, get the opportunity. They can knock you out. They gonna immobilize you. They'll hurt you bad. They put you in the hospital. This is not a game, y'all. Just because it's called women's, it might as well just be called boxing, and women could have fight men as well. Because it's the same mentality. And you'll have to use, of course, some women will have to use strategy and stuff to beat whoever they got to beat. But I'm just saying. Now, women's boxing hasn't come along as much as men's boxing. Men's boxing been around forever. Women's boxing been underground for a minute. Women used to still fight and scrap and everything, but it wasn't official. They used to fight. But they used to fight indoors in clubs. So it was an unofficial thing. It was illegal for women to fight. Now it's been made legal. And women, just like men, there are women out there just like men, just like how in the military, there are women in the military and men. There are some women, you call them tomboys, who love to scrap. They love to fight. Not just other women. Anything that lives and breathes, they like to fight it. It's just what it is. All right, it's just what it is. Okay? It's a mentality. It's just what it is. So some people are just that there are certain people, we call them types of people, and some people, they need to fight. They must be in a war. They must be in a battle. Okay? I'm one of those personalities. Okay? I'm a pacifist by nature. I love peace, love, and unity, but I love to fight. I love to fight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I love to fight. Okay? That's why I watch boxing. I love fighting. Okay? I don't just like the art of it. I love fighting. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't confront no more. I love fighting. Okay? It is what it is. Now, that mentality is, some people think we're crazy. Some people think boxers are crazy. You gotta be fucking crazy to go in the ring and get hit and keep on hitting somebody. And when cerebral damage causes CTE, you gotta be a little crazy to do that. But that's just the way it is. Okay? So, I'm saying all of this to say this. These women are not much different from the men you see. They had the same mentality. I didn't say womentality. I said mentality. I want you to understand we got to be on the same playing field here. So what I saw with Alicia Baumgardner, now Baumgardner more fight on the outside. She more have loop-in shots. So the fight really was in her favor once she was at a certain range, a certain distance on the outside of Christina Leonard-Tardieu. Of course, Leonard-Tardieu's trying to close the distance to get close enough to Baumgardner so she could do her damage, because she got short, crisp, sharp shots. Once she got within Baumgardner's range, that's why she was able to push her back, because she started to close the distance and Baumgardner wanted to maintain the distance. Baumgardner reminded me of Thomas Hearn. She reminded me of Tony Harrison. But she's much stronger, much more sturdy, but she still have to pick you off from outside. All right, she got the pop, she got the power, everything, but she got to pick you off from the outside. So, cause of that, Leonard-Tardieu, I saw her. She put on a cap. This is war. And she was going to try and take that. But she couldn't get into the range, her preferred range. Baumgardner kept on keeping her off, pivoting off to the side, pop the jab, sometimes throw the lead right hand and spin off to the side. So she kept on moving. So Leonard-Tardieu had to change direction all the time. And since Leonard-Tardieu wasn't, she still had to work on her pivot coming in. She always coming in straight. So you have to work on your pivot for that. She wasn't able to cut the distance like she wanted to, but she got her in trades. What she started doing was she would shoot her shots while Baumgardner was shooting her shots. So she would get her in between the shots. She had to take sometimes to deliver, but that's what she sold out to do that. You know what I mean? She got hurt a couple times in that fight, really bad, but she sucked it up, man. She got real. God damn, she really wanted this fight. She really wanted to win the undisputed. So she was really motivated. And that's another thing people don't understand. You see a boxer, right? The stakes are not as high. The boxer loses the fight. But when the stakes are high enough, that boxer will be so motivated that you better have something, because they might go up levels. They might take your shit and still keep coming and come to dish out shit to you and wear you down if you can't dial up those levels. You know what I mean? We saw it again with Frank Martin versus and I want to say something. That fight wasn't close, okay? But I'm telling you, all 12 rounds, that fight could have swung. Baumgardner versus Leonard-Tardieu, because Leonard-Tardieu was looking for the opportunity to capitalize on, and Baumgardner kind of took that opportunity away from her for 12 rounds. Right, and Baumgardner was crashing her coming down to the end, but Leonard-Tardieu was live for all 12 rounds. She trained her ass off. Her conditioning was ridiculous. Okay, to be able to take that kind of punishment, nah, you got incredible conditioning. And she did dish out one or two times. She dished out and made things happen. Let's talk about Steve Martin versus Artem Harutyunyun. With Artem showed us he had boxing skills. I did say in my prediction video that I thought Martin would be too much for Artem, but then I turned around and I kind of contradicted myself by saying, but you just never know, man. A boxer might look a certain way on film and whatever, and then come in the ring doing something, different or something, more. And Artem showed us he could really box. He had really good sense of distance, really good sense of timing. He was ripping those right uppercuts up the center. Those were the things that were kind of being hit. He was sometimes landing them. Sometimes Frank would pick him off. Frank was picking off a lot of his straight right hands, by the way. Frank was popping his jab early. Then he put it away, and he started using his straight lefts and his right hooks. At first, he started going to the body. Then he stopped doing that after Artem kind of had him kind of confused. He said he was trying to assess the situation. That put him way back in the fight. He was behind going into the 7, 8 round. 6th round was really good for him, but he was still behind. That was his first real comeback round where he really hurt Artem pretty bad. But again, Artem was in tremendous condition. Of course, we all know Artem was really a super lightweight and welterweight. He fought at welterweight and super lightweight. And he came down to lightweight. So he's been dominating lightweight, and he was really undefeated at lightweight for a minute, about 2 or 3 fights he had at lightweight. So he was a big lightweight. But even so, his defensive responsibilities, defensive skills really paid it. But, Frank crashed him in the 6th round, but couldn't get him out of there. And then in the 10th round, he really put some work in on him. The 11th round, again, he really started to really get his engines rolling. It really was getting him into trouble as well. But of course, Artem responded in the 11th, and he had some really good shots to, especially that uppercut to his solar plexus, really ripped it on Frank there. But Frank's a tough fighter as well. And it came down to the 12th round, and in the 12th round, Frank made Artem take a knee because I think he damaged his eye in the 10th. But I think he really messed up his eye really bad in the 12th. And Artem had to take a knee. And he was trying to crash him, but he was missing a lot of his shots. He's a little overexcited. Frank was a little overexcited. He wasn't keeping his composure and setting him up to really blast him out of there. But Frank, took over the second half of the fight for sure. First half of the fight, Artem was doing his thing, but then Frank really woke up when he heard he was behind. Derek James told him he was behind. He woke up and really started lighting up Artem. And he really was just going for it. He was going to try and get him out of there, but he was trying to conserve his energy at the same time, be smart about it. And he was smarter about it, his angles and everything. But you got to give Frank Martin really, I think, a lot of props for this, because this was a step-up fight. And I don't know if he knew that Artem was this kind of dude, or he probably knew, but he probably knew, but he didn't know to that extent, because he said this dude was a tough fighter. He said this was his toughest fight, and because he had to come from behind to win it. And quite frankly, I thought this was a great test for him. I thought the great matchmaking. I thought Artem did very well, so I want to see Artem again. So we've had a number of guys who gave, the A side some work. We had Artem. We had recently with Teofimo Lopez, the fight before his fight with Josh Taylor. Sandor Martin, gave Josh Taylor some work, because Sandor Martin upset Mikey Garcia. And this guy, Artem Harutyunyun, also upset 2 fighters who were A-side. So this guy wasn't really a joke. We heard about him. He had most of his fights in Germany, but still, he wasn't a joke. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I seen, Sandor Martin. We have had Harutyunyun. And then we had some tough fighters like Roman Villa. Roman Villa was coming through, man. The dude was going for broke. Of course, we just saw Christina Leonard Tardu. She wasn't no joke. This on Cruz, we saw what she was doing. We know that Pitbull Cruz, he's also out there. I think he's supposed to have a fight, I think, this coming week, so we'll look out for him. You saw what he did to Shakur Stevenson. Again, all the A-side did win their fights, including Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, even though people thought Sandor Martin dropped him. I thought Lopez won his fight with Sandor Martin. How could I forget? The kid that gave Josh Taylor a good run for his money. And he was supposed to rematch Catterall, Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall did great. He was another guy, you had to watch out, undisputed fighter too. So I'm just saying these guys gave these guys a run for the money. And that's what you want. You want a fighter that will make you better. Right? I was here listening to Showbiz the Adult just recently there. I think today self, and he was saying, Frank's going to be a better fighter for this. And absolutely. Of course, he's going to be a better fighter for this. And this is the kind of fights these fighters need. They need fights which will push them, make them up their game. Maybe he was planning on doing a number of things in that fight, and those things had to go out the window because he had to make adjustments, and he had to overcome he had to make proper assessments, and in real time, you have to be lightning quick with that. You have to make adjustments quickly. So thankfully, Derek James put the fire under his belly, and he really stepped up his game, and because of that, he was able to beat Sandor Martin. Now, as to respect with Shakur's statements and Kershawn Davis' statements and so on, spectators can say whatever they want. Unless you've been in the ring with this dude, if you've been in the ring with Artem Harutyunyun, you really can't say nothing. So, Shakur trying to talk about how he was in there with a gold medalist or some kind of stuff like that, the Japanese kid. Shakur, come on now, bro. Get in the ring with Artem then and show us you can do better. All right. But otherwise, please be quiet. A lot of guys like to chirp and try to compare themselves and stuff. And we know Shakur's all about cap these days. He just be capping, and that's why Devin Haney didn't take you on seriously, because he knew you're not serious about making a fight. All right. You had to wait for Bob to say something, and Bob ain't say jack. Forget about Jay Prince. Bob got to say something. And Bob never said nothing, right? With respect to Kershawn Davis, he know he was talking. He said it was a good fight. And Kershawn hasn't faced anybody on that level yet. So I wouldn't. Again, if you really mean that, oh, look at him, how he struggled with this dude, then go in the ring and face the dude then. And show us how it's done. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You know what I mean? Stop capping. You know what I mean? So some of these guys just be chirping, try to get attention. You know what I mean? But WattUNeed, cease through all of that crap. You know what I mean? I'm really not into the people chirping. I want to see if you believe you could do better, then step up to the plate, face the guy, and let's see if you could do better. Otherwise, just shut up. Well, I think Kershawn Davis wants Frank Martin next. So maybe we will see Kershawn Davis versus Frank Martin, in spite of the fact that Kershawn Davis is mostly with Top Rank, Frank Martin's with PBC and Showtime. Maybe that fight could happen. We'll see. On to some other things in boxing. So we're coming closer and closer to Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. That's less than 2 weeks away. And then, of course, we're also getting Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue. So those are two fantastic fights. And from what I see, the casual fans still I haven't seen this, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I haven't seen it in CNN. I haven't seen the major media outlets that announce things, particularly not necessarily with sport, but just with news in general. I don't see them picking this up. So the duty of us now as boxing fans is to try to get the casuals to know about these fights. So of all the fights that you don't want to miss this year, it's Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, which I will be paying for. So what you need, and also the other boxing outlets needs to do, is we need to try and get this trending on YouTube, get it trending on Twitter, just get it trending so we'll make major news so that people will actually get their attentions to it and know when it is happening, know when it's going down, because we got to make sure that this particular fight makes money, and good money, so that these guys will know the risk is worth the reward. So that's what I got for that. With respect to Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, I've said it. I'm going to say it again. That's a fight I cannot predict. I'm not even trying to predict. Every time I think about it, it gives me a headache. So I'm not trying to predict that fight. You know, you can listen to all the other channels and what all the other people have to say. And, you know, a lot of people trying to swing Spence's way right now. Terrence ain't a guy that's just going to budge like that, y'all. Terrence don't fold like that. So y'all can forget about that. This is a fight that's going to go down to the wire if it has to. But both guys are not going to budge on their position. They're going to keep on doing what they do. That's the way how this fight is. Terrence Crawford is a bad boy. But so is Errol Spence. So I'm not sure who's going to win this fight. I'm going to have to see. It's definitely going to be a battle of attrition, I believe. It's going to come down to who can make the fight theirs before the 12 rounds is over, or how many ever rounds it gets to. So don't ask me about what's my prediction for this fight, because I favor nobody. I just have to see this fight. This fight's a hard one to call. Okay, I'm telling you, this is a hard fight to call. You know, after I see it, I'm going to be able to tell you guys. I'm a little sleepy, so I'm going to need to go and take a 5. But in the meantime, What You Need is the channel. Been here for a good minute, about 10 years now. Been with What You Need to 2010. Yeah, almost 10 years about, or is it more? It might be more. It might be 13 years now. I've been on this channel for a while. Thank you also to my subscribers and also those who unanimously, for some reason, y'all don't want to know who you are. You've donated to my PayPal. I thank you for that as well. I try to get in touch with you guys. But I just wanted to thank you guys, since you've been unanimous to me, and you haven't let me know who you are. Okay, I thank you for that. What You Need is gonna try and give you, straightforward content, the best content that What You Need can give you. I heard that Tyson Fury basically ducked also Anthony Joshua. So he said, I ain't gonna face Joshua. We just had the Usyk fight, and then he didn't face Usyk either, so he ducked Joshua and Usyk to do this clown circus show thing with the WBC title, which is unacceptable and something that nobody should go watch, just to ensure that he don't make the kind of money he did. Because Tyson Fury's doing the opposite of what we as fans want in boxing, and it's happening in boxing now. We're actually getting the fights we want to see. So now it's up to us not to pirate these boxing fights, but to actually pay for them. Show the people this is what we want. Whereas Tyson Fury is giving us exactly what we do not want. And so as fans, we should stay on money and not put any money to that fight, so they'll know those are not the fights that we want to see as fans. Excuse me. I am sleepy. So that's what I got for you guys. I am What You Need. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.